Y'all know how I get down. We talking boxing, man. Once again, y'all know how it is, man. It's always a pleasure to be up here on YouTube with all the boxing fans. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know how we do. It's Sunday, so y'all know what that means. And that means it's our time. You know what I'm saying? Let me just make sure that the audio sounding good. And we got a lot to talk about, man. We got a lot to dig right on up into. So let me just make sure we sounding straight. All right. Solid. We sounding good. The thing is that last night when I did my post-fight video, you know what I'm saying, after the Keith one-time Thurman and Manny Pacquiao fight, yo, the mic was all messed up, man. I was all messed up. Everything was confused. There was a big fog up in here, man. I couldn't see. I couldn't hear. I was lost. I was everywhere. But today, the boy is back all in one piece, ready to put it all together, pick up the pieces, and let's move right along, shall we? First off, before we get started, let me just give a special shout out to none other than the sister of Omar Figueroa. The sister of Omar Figueroa shut it down yesterday. Of those who, what was that, Friday? I think that was when they did that weigh-in. Oh my God. Omar Figueroa's sister finer than a mug, bro. You know what I'm saying? Man, so salute to Omar Figueroa's sister. I ain't mad at that. You know what I mean? I ain't mad at that. Boxing Logic United, what's up with you, man? What's goody, man? No, you caught that fight over the weekend, man. We gonna chop it up, man. A lot went down, son. A lot went down. The power of the welterweight division has now shifted. We will get more into that. But before we start chopping it up all about all that, man, I want to talk about this Teofimo Lopez fight. Teofimo Lopez is getting a whole bunch of criticism today from a lot of boxing fans, man. A whole bunch of criticism. Everybody got something to say today about Teofimo Lopez. There's questions arising. The questions are now, how does Teofimo Lopez fare off against, say, a Vasil Lomachenko? Now, Vasil Lomachenko, man, and Teofimo Lopez, they got this back and forth thing going on. Bob Arum has positioned both fighters to eventually have to see each other, with Vasil Lomachenko making a play for the WBC, Teofimo Lopez now making a play for the IBF. If both men are victorious in their quest, then they should be meeting up for a total undisputed match. No politics, no polish shit, nothing separating them two from not making that fight happen. Teofimo Lopez the other day fought an Asian fighter by the name of Nakatani. And word on the curb is that Nakatani gave Teofimo all he can handle. Now, Nakatani, we got to understand in this fight, though, fight fans, for everybody out there who like Teofimo struggled this, or he did this, or he did that, we got to keep it all the way live on something, man. This dude was 6 feet tall. He was a 6 foot tall, 135 pounder. If that ain't a phenom, I don't know what the hell that is. You know what I'm saying? That's some phenom type stuff right there. A 6 foot tall, 135 pounder, very rangy. You did a respected boxer from the region that he comes from, pretty much a dark horse. He came over here undefeated. Teofimo Lopez, never being beyond the 6th round, was forced to go deep into a fight for the first time in his career. I mean, man, every fight is not going to be a dominant performance. Every fight is not going to be a whitewash. There are some fights stylistically, once you match them up, you know what I mean? It's going to be some hiccups in the road, especially when you got a fighter that's a growing fighter. The kid ain't there yet. He's making his name. He's making his name loud and clear. He's explosive. He has speed. He's still learning, but he ain't quite there yet. And, this style of this long, rangy Asian guy, 6 feet tall, I honestly thought for him to take this fight like he did, I thought he did all right. I mean, it wasn't a domination, no, but I thought he did okay. I was impressed with the explosiveness, is his ability to, time the fact when he wants to get in on the outside. And once he gets on the outside, very, very explosive. I mean, let them hands go, and punches and bunches, throwing in combinations once he gets to the inside. So it took him a few rounds to kind of fill this dude out. How can I get to the inside of this jab? How can I time him just right? It took him a few rounds. I gave Nakatani the first couple rounds. After that, I thought Teofimo started to put it on him. You know what I mean? Started to put it on him. And I thought, like I said before, though it wasn't the best performance we've seen of Teofimo Lopez, I thought it was respectable. I thought it was respectable. See, a lot of fight fans nowadays, especially today's boxing fan, you look for the littlest things. You look for the littlest. Oh, he ain't that good. He look how he fought against this guy. You can't do this. Kid is on the way up. He's learning. He's facing different styles, different fighters from different regions, trying to figure out, okay, how do I, at the pro level, at this level, this is how you deal with a 6 feet tall, rangy fighter. At this level, this is how you deal with a dark horse. You know what I mean? And that's all it was. I thought he had to struggle to get around the jab a little bit. But once he made it to the inside, man, he was doing his thing on Nakatani, man. Real talk. You know, so I mean, it wasn't the, like I said, it wasn't the greatest performance. It wasn't. But I thought it was a decent performance. I mean, he did outland this dude. He outlanded him. He outlanded him also in the power punches department. He outlanded him there. Now, he did get out jabbed in this fight. But, yo, he outlanded this guy. And this guy was a 6 foot tall, rangy, 135-pound fighter. Undefeated with everything to prove. He was coming over here to try to make a name for himself. And, you know, from listening to the talks of the boxing fans and what all the boxing media is talking about today, well, guess what? Looks like to me he actually won a few of them. Because there's people running around like Teofimo didn't look that good. He didn't look that good. Look, I gave him that fight by at least 3 rounds. I gave it to him by 3 rounds. I thought Teofimo's explosiveness, and then not to mention towards the middle rounds, I thought he started to find his rhythm and get into that zone, man. He started to push this dude back. Whenever he was pushing Nakatani back and just jumping in on him, man, Nakatani could not time him properly enough to catch him coming in. And Teofimo would get to the inside and boom, 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 boom. Heavy hands, fast hands. So it was a learning curve. I'm willing to admit when up-and-coming fighters will experience learning curves. You know what I'm saying? Learning curve. So that's all it was, man. But he is going to need to learn that faster because we know by him beating Nakatani, this now puts him right there almost closer to Richard Comey. This was an IBF eliminator match. This puts him one step closer to a world title fight. So we'll see how this plays out, man. But, oh, Joe, I thought Teofimo, look, I thought it was more so a learning experience. He's getting better. The dude has never even went 12 rounds. He's never been beyond the 6. So it's a learning curve. He got the victory. He won. You know what I'm saying? Hats off to him. And I thought he did what he had supposed to do. It is what it is. Nakatani is not a bad fighter. If you look more into this dude, Nakatani, you'll see that he's not the worst fighter in the world, man. Ain't the worst fighter in the world at all. So it is what it is. It is what it is. So hats off to Teofimo Lopez. He will proceed, and hopefully eventually Bob Arum can get it did to match him up with Vasyl Lomachenko for a monumental undisputed fight. Let them fighters keep on doing what they doing. You know, Bob pulled the mystery strings for Vasyl. You know, he made the impossible possible. He made a world champion fight for a vacant WBC title. So it is what it is. If you're going to do all this, make it happen, Bob. Undisputed fighter at 135 pounds. It should be going down. They effectively boxed out Devin Haney. They put Devin Haney in a position where he can't fight for a title no time soon. So guess what? There you go. We right there on the cusp of possibly doing something for undisputed at 135 now that Teofimo Lopez has gotten this W under his belt all day. I wish I would have went, man, because they had it right here in my city, man. It was over at the MGM, man. Couldn't catch it Friday night, man. Unfortunately, some things came up, but damn, I wish I would have went. Heard the atmosphere was pretty good. I heard it was pretty turned up in there. And yeah, it was, a lot of fans were highly engaged into the fight. So that's a good thing. Champion Killer, what's up, man? Your boy lost. Laughing emojis. Yeah. George Costanza, main man Pac, shocked me and the world. He did, bruh. He did. Let's get to it, man. Let's get to it because that's pretty much what's on everybody's mind, man. Let's get to it. Now, I'm not going to be nearly as emotional this time around as I was last night. And let me explain something to everybody out there. One thing, too, because I want to say this. It's nothing wrong. And if you want to say I'm wrong for it, you can call it however you want. I don't really give a shit. It is nothing wrong with being passionate and about the sport of boxing. There's nothing wrong with that, man. This is a sport. No one is here to try to be Sports Center. No one is here. Oh, man, you can't do this. You can't lead the people that way. Lead the people that way. Yo, we are boxing fans. First, if I want to turn up over any fight, I'm going to turn up. Because guess what? When Jerry Swift Hurd get back into the ring with Julian J. Rock Williams. I'm going to be right here saying the same stuff that I was saying before. It don't change. It don't stop. That's why we love boxing. I am so sick of all of these people out here trying to cap people's passion. Stop that, man. Oh, y'all shouldn't be this way. You shouldn't like that fighter. You shouldn't overly support that fight. Man, look here, man. It's boxing. I'm going to support who I want to support. And y'all need to stop acting this way, man. Acting like there's a code of conduct when it comes to boxing fans. We turn up. That's what we do. There ain't no code of conduct. You are a boxing fan. Now, if you want to consider yourself a boxing analyst or a journalist or whatever you think you are, then cool. You do that. Put your suit and tie on. You sit back and you sit upright. All right? You hold your microphone just right. You be that. And I hope you're getting major zeros for it. But at the end of the day, do not stop boxing fans from being boxing fans. I always say it on this channel. Whenever the AJ fans, they come here and they give me all kind of crap about supporting AJ, I never denounce their passion. That's one thing I would never do. I would never tell you wrong. No. I'm going to tell you why I think your guy is trash, or I might tell you why I think your guy don't beat the guy that I like, but don't come here with this notion that, yo, you should not be passionate about boxing. I've been passionate since the day I even looked at boxing. So stop it, man. What's up with you? Orlando Finney in the building. What's up, my brother? What's up with you? George Costanza says, amen, bro, all day. Lost Survivor. What's up, family? Thought Keith would try to run through Manny. Let's get to the fight. Now, I have rewatched the fight quietly this time around. All right, a little less turned up, if you will. Found me a quiet corner, and I took the fight in round by round, scored it properly the whole 9. And when you look at inside the ring, because I had to figure out, like, what was this? What had Keith so off, so lost, if you will? What did it? It wasn't just the greatness of Manny Pacquiao. Then I noticed something. The one thing that Pacquiao has that makes him so great, bruh, the thing that he do that makes him so great, he has a rhythm unlike any fighter possibly in boxing. The way he feints, the way he moves, it will confuse you. There was so many times in that fight where Keith was unsure. He would start the punch, pull it back halfway through the punch, trying to get the rhythm down, trying to pin down Manny Pacquiao. The times when he would have Manny Pacquiao up against the ropes, it still wasn't enough. But I couldn't figure it out. Like, what is this magic that got Keith looking so inaccurate, so confused? What is it? And I figured it's the rhythm. Pacquiao's rhythm. The way the pace that he has to fight at, and the way he moves his body, the way he feints you, the way he knows when to commit and when not to commit. It's legendary, fam. It's legendary. And that's what threw Keith off. Keith could never get the rhythm of Manny Pacquiao, especially through those first 5 rounds. Now, I rescored the fight. I gave Keith one time Thurman round 6, round 7, rounds 9, and rounds 12. That's 4 rounds. And that's keeping it 100. That's 4 rounds. He was on his way to possibly winning the 10th until the body shot heard around the world happened. But that's 4 rounds. 4 rounds, bruh. Them first 5 rounds, Pacquiao sparked Keith. I'm going to keep it a buck, and I'm going to keep it 100. He did. Keith couldn't time them shots. He couldn't put it on. He just couldn't time it properly. He couldn't get Manny's movements down at all. Keith throwing over the head of Manny Pacquiao, to the side of Manny Pacquiao. There was even points of the fight where he even went southpaw trying to pin Manny down. And that body movement, that rhythm, the way Manny moves, the way he feints, it's just, bro, that shit, it's legendary. It's like, Joe, that is the one thing that throws everybody into the mixing bowl with Manny Pacquiao, trying to get his rhythm down and his timing down. This is something that Miguel Cotto struggled with. Couldn't, I mean, aside from being overwhelmed with punches, this dude could not get the rhythm of Manny Pacquiao down. Floyd did it, but Floyd did it in a different way. Floyd did it, he took his time. Floyd did not sit back, waste a lot of unwanted energy, pot shotting 1 shot at a time when he can put it right there on the button if he could. He wasn't going to sit there and exert a bunch of energy trying to pin Manny Pacquiao down. That's something Floyd wasn't going to do. Manny went at Floyd. Floyd loves to play the matador. And he just wasn't going to do it. He just wasn't going to do it. Son of God says Mayweather is the god of boxing, man. Oh, man. Yeah. Great fighter. Son of God says Dillian White will put that bum Fury to sleep. Hey, man, shout out to Dillian White for finally getting his chance, man. Shout out to Dillian White. Sean Burke says he was winning the first round until he got dropped. Yeah, he was. I agree. Then that was a big round, man. 10-8 round. In this case, Keith not only did not win enough rounds, but he also was down on the scoreboard. Like being down from that knockout from that opening bell. I mean, from that first round, that put him down on the scoreboard as well as down in rounds. He was in a position, honestly, where he might have needed this to drop Manny to get back into the fight. That's how far back I thought he was. Sean Burke says I gave Keith 5 rounds. I mean, I gave him 4. It could be argued if he won the 9th, I think. What I say, I gave him the 6 and 7. No, it could be argued whether he won the 8th. I'm sorry. You know what I mean? That was a real close round. I thought Pac edged it out, but it was a real close round. You know what I mean? The thing is, man, and it's just that, you know, Keith, it's just that I think that was the X factor. Some people think it was the speed of Manny because Manny was unloading so many punches. And, you know, it's like whenever Keith would honestly land something flush, Manny would make sure not to let him swoo the judges too much. And he'll come back and answer it. Okay, you just hit me with a good shot. Bam. Here's a flurry. Bing, 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 bing. Out of them flurries, out of them 4 punches, 1 or 2 of them may land. This puts Manny Pacquiao back into the round. And that's how he did it. He would not let Keith run up the scoreboard on him. He would not let Keith sway them judges. He just wouldn't do it. Man, this is what makes him so great, bro. He keeping score in his head, man. He keeping score in his head. It was a beautiful performance. Let me get in front of y'all, man. Hold on 1 second. You know, I'm not running. I'm right here. Showing my face as always, as I told y'all I would. You know what I mean? But the fact still remains. Manny, his rhythm, it's there. I listened to Keith Thurman in the post-fight press conference, and Keith was saying that Manny still got it. He said he still basically has a lot left. Keith was basically fooled on. He was surprised that Manny had so much left in the tank. Keith thought he was approaching a fight with a Manny Pacquiao that came down a few levels, not nearly what he used to be. That's what all of us thought. Father Time never lies, 41 years old. I had a lot of y'all Asian fans hit me up saying, man, the reason that Pacquiao's stamina and he's in such great shape is because, you know, he doesn't eat what all of you Americans eat. He eats rice. That's what they told me. You dig? I don't know what the secret is. But the fact still remains is that, yo, this dude comes in shape, his stamina, and then Pac was still bouncing in rounds 11 at the end of the round when the bell sounded. Go back and watch it. He's still bouncing around. I'm like, this dude energy levels is on 1,000,000. And he threw damn near 700 punches. Unbelievable. This is why I was last night sitting up on here like, bro, that's impossible. Like, what's up with the testing? You know what I'm saying? I don't want to put that jacket on Manny Pacquiao. I got it. I mean, I was just turned up last night, but I've never seen nothing like that, bro. That was crazy. You know what I'm saying? Law Survivor says the fact that he can still move like that at his age. Yeah, man. The fact that he can still get around the ring that way. And then on top of that, whenever he was punching on Keith, he would never stand right there in front of Keith. Like he would get his punches off, switch the angle. Get his punches off, switch the angle. Get his punches off, switch the angle. Constantly, all fight long. Pacquiao had so many things going at one time, and this put Keith in no man's land. I mean, he's switching angles constantly. He's jumping in, he's jumping out, right? His rhythm, his feints is throwing Keith way off. Got Keith's rhythm way off. It literally took Keith Thurman about 5 rounds to get comfortable. About 5 rounds. This speaks nothing but to the greatness of a Manny Pacquiao. You know, I mean, this the only way you can put it. That is pure greatness. A fighter at 41 years old still using the fundamentals of boxing. beating up on the new generation, the new champions, the new era. This is amazing. This is just as amazing to me like when Floyd put down Canelo. That's what this is like almost equivalent to me. That it was a few other interesting dynamics in that fight, but this is right there, bro. This is like right there on that level. I know Canelo was the bigger man, so that makes it a little more impressive what Floyd may have done. But what Pac done, he beat a young, strong champion and highly perceived as the #1 welterweight in the world. And that is amazing, amazing, amazing. Now, that's the question I asked earlier. Now that the situation has happened and Keith Thurman has been dethroned, who do you think is the #1 welterweight in the world? Now, a lot of y'all may jump out the window and just say Manny Pacquiao off the jump. Brother Reality in the building. What's up, family? And a lot of y'all may say off the jump that, it's going to be Manny Pacquiao. Like someone told me earlier, well, he beat Keith Thurman. If Keith was #1, this automatically makes Manny #1. Well, I never would include Manny Pacquiao in a lot of the rankings when I was calling Keith #1 because I always considered him a legend. Say he's a legendary fighter. He doesn't belong in this kind of conversation. He's already done his work. I mean, clearly, if you add the work of Manny Pacquiao, it surpasses everybody at welterweight. So I never usually included a legend. But if you include Manny Pacquiao, I guess you can say, yeah, Pacquiao can be considered #1. But if you don't, if you want to keep him in that legend category, if he is considered still a legend, and we're not going to include Manny Pacquiao because he's so great, so let's slide him to the side. Out of the remaining generation of the new generation of fighters, we're talking Crawford, we're talking Spence, we're talking Sean Porter, we're talking Danny, we're talking Terrence Crawford, we're talking Mikey Garcia, Adrien Broner, and we're going to get to Adrien Broner. But out of these guys, who's now #1? Who is now #1? Who takes the throne? And should I ask the question of who do you think would be #1? If you tell me that, well, man, I think the spot is vacant, which I believe. I think the spot is vacant at the present time, and that more things need to be determined to see who would be #1. If you believe that the spot is vacant, who do you believe that should be #1, or who will be the next #1 fighter at welterweight? This time, without a doubt, without argument. And it's about accomplishments. Don't give me your favorite fighter because you think he cool and he walk cool and he talk cool. Oh, no. Accomplishment wise, who becomes the #1 welterweight boxer now? Riddle me that. Silver Salamo 2011 says Thurman underestimated Pac's power. I'm pissed he didn't take the fight seriously. So you don't think that Keith took the fight seriously? You think he overlooked Pacquiao too? I think there was a little sentiment of that. Hindsight is 2020. I can look back and I can say, well, Keith maybe put his bravado on a little too much, but maybe he was just selling tickets. People got to remember this was a pay-per-view event. This was the Keith Thurman's first pay-per-view event. Maybe he was just trying to sell tickets. Hit that thumbs up for me as y'all slide on up in this joint. Hit that thumbs up for me, man. Oh man. Son of God says Pac will unify the division and then retire. I mean, there's word on the curb is that he may go over there and entertain a conversation with Amir Khan. If Amir Khan's bag is real this time around. Remember how the first time around it went through, it was janky. The promoters wasn't on board. The government of the country wasn't on board. Nobody was on board. Bob Arum exposed all that. Pacquiao even accused Bob Arum of trying to sabotage his fights, remember? So we'll see, man. If this thing is not as janky as Amir Khan normally has it, he just got paid a good amount of money to beat up on little Billy Dib, right? So maybe he does actually got the money this time around. Maybe that's where Pac goes, just to kill some time, make $1 million. Why not? Get his, legacy spread it around the world a little bit more. Why not? You know what I mean? Senegal says Pac is #1. I hear that, bro. My duck song says Pac has the best resume on welterweight, but Spence will beat Pac, no doubt. So do you consider Spence the #1 guy just because you think he beats Pac? Orlando says T-Bud is #1 welterweight now. Okay, I hear that, Orlando. That's going to be a hard case, to make for T-Bud. Yep, all day. Law Survivor, winner of Spence and Porter versus Crawford will be the #1. So you think basically, Law Survivor, that there's more ground to cover. You saying it basically is vacant, and you believe that there are other fights in the future that should determine who is the #1 welterweight. Okay. All right. Well, I could dig that. I think the winner should be determined by Sean Porter versus Earl Spence Jr. I mean, It's just as plain as that. I mean, at that point, that particular winner will be a unified champion, the only unified champion at welterweight. At that point, resume-wise, there will be a hard argument for either man, whether it be Sean Porter or Errol Spence Jr. There's going to people will tell you Earl has now Sean Porter on his resume. He has Kell Brook. He has Lamont Peterson, Mikey Garcia, Little Mike. You know what I'm saying? He got these names on his resume, and people will use that and say, hey, well, look, he's unified on top of all of that. He's number one. Now, T-Bud's argument, I don't see it. I don't see it. Maybe somebody can help me. Orlando, maybe you can help me see how could we. It's no way that we can put T-Bud as number one. I just don't. I look at his victories. I look at what he's done at the weight class. Sure, he's the number one pound-for-pound fighter on the planet. And that may get him some ground right there. Maybe so. Maybe you're right. But as far as accomplishments, and this is what I always based it on, y'all, and this is why my argument was so strong for Keith Thurman. As far as accomplishments, I don't know if Bud is there at welterweight. Has he outdone Earl at the weight class? Has he outdone Earl? I don't know. He damn sure ain't outdone Sean. Sean, nah, he ain't even outdone Sean lately. Sean got Danny. Sean got Ugas. Bud don't got that. Bud don't got that. Bud got Benavidez, Horn. That's not going to rank him very high amongst the other work the welterweights has already done. Somebody tell me I'm wrong, and please tell me why I'm wrong. I would love to see if I'm wrong. UGC in the building. What's up, homie? If Earl beats Sean, he is the number one at welterweight. I mean, I don't think the argument can go any way other way, Black. I don't think the argument can go any other way, fam, because accomplishments, something that we got to base it on and keep it a buck on, right? Accomplishments. If you don't think it's Errol Spence Jr., give me another fighter in their last 3 fights that has outdone Earl. I don't think they're, at least after these next set of fights are complete, I don't think it exists. I don't think no one can make that argument. Dundada says Porter. Porter's number one. Porter's number one. Porter will have. I mean, we got to determine though number one after the next set of fights. I think you can't just give it to him while he has a fight. He's in the middle of preparing for a fight. You know what I mean? Let the next set of fights get out of the way first, and then we can determine it. If Porter beats Earl all day, he's number one, bro. Without by a mile, and the point of by a mile can be put up there with Sean Porter. I mean, Ugas, Earl, Ugas, and Danny. Ain't nothing stopping that right there, bro. That would be number one, without a doubt, by a mile. By a mile. That's what makes these next set of fights so important, man. So important because now the power at welterweight has shuffled around. Keith is no longer in Bison. Keith no longer sits on top of the mountaintop. Keith now is gone back to the mountains of Tibet to sit there, play his flute, depressed all the hell right now, man. Looking at his wife. His wife is looking at him like you drugged me out here to this fight just for me to watch you get beat down by a little Asian dude. Are you out of your nugget? You know what I mean? Nah, I'm kidding, man. I'm kidding. Nah, but Keith got to get it together, man. And the question is now at this point, what happens with Keith? What happens with Keith? Keith got to do some soul searching, man. And this coming from a Keith one-time Thurman fan. I'm going to keep it all the way 100. Keith got to do some soul searching and know if he really wants this. That's first and foremost. Keith has had a lot of time to think. He had a lot of time to enjoy the world and not be a fighter. He's had 2 years to not be a fighter. Does he enjoy that life of not being a fighter over being a fighter? You did, because it can't turn off. We know sometimes they say, a zebra can't change their stripes. It can turn on and turn off. You can want to be a fighter one day and be ready to be determined and hungry and ready to go through whoever, whatever, the longest training camp in the world, do what you got to do. But then there comes a point in time where you may wake up one day and you just don't. You're tired of being punched face. You're tired of the injuries. You're tired of being a warrior, digging down deep. You're tired of having to keep cutting weight all the time. And Keith needs to decide which side of the tracks do you want to be on, bro? You cannot do middle of the road and remain a top elite guy in boxing. You have to decide whether you want to be in or whether you want to be out. That's first and foremost, I think Keith need to do. You know what I'm saying? You know, Son of God says Thurman whoops Bud and Spence. Yeah, we'll see. I don't know, man. I've never showed doubt with Keith Thurman and Earl Spence Jr. I've never showed doubt. But that body shot from Manny Pacquiao had Keith like, yo, what the heck? I mean, it just, the whole energy, his body language, he just like, just the flip of a switch, man. Like, 1 minute he was strong, young Keith Thurman, and he ate a body shot and he became like weak. It's like, you know, he was Battle Cat and He-Man at first, and then he became that little scrubbly looking cat that turns into Battle Cat. You know, he went reversed. He went from being this brave, strong fighter, strong young kid, to catching a body shot to becoming the little scrubbly little cat, and he started running. You know what I mean? So when we talk about Earl Spence Jr., I've now seen Manny. I've now seen Sean. I've now seen Collazo. I've seen a lot of fighters hit my main man downstairs, and he don't like it. He don't like it. That concerns me when it comes to a Spence fight. That concerns me. Can he outbox Spence? Absolutely, possibly. But will he eat body work from Spence if he was to get in it? You know? You know? Oh no, Rocket Strikes 89. What's up, family? Keith still my man. He thought he could beat Manny after inactivity, and Manny capitalized off of that all day. You know, some people believing that Keith should have taken another interim fight before he went into the Manny Pacquiao fight. If Keith have done that, y'all would have shut him down. Y'all would have shut him down. So it's a good thing he didn't. He went right into the man. You don't pass up a Pacquiao fight, right? You don't pass up a Pacquiao fight. I'm sure nobody would vouch for that, but it cost him. It cost him, you know. It cost him. You know, this year of boxing is nothing short of upsets. Everybody been getting it wrong this year. Everybody. Not just main man. I got two huge fights wrong this year. We're talking Jarrett Swift Hurd versus Julian J. Rock Williams, and we're talking this fight. These are my two biggest way off predictions right here. No one's seen this coming. None of us. There's a lot of holier than thou people out here today, like, oh, I told you so. I told you so. But come on, bro. Even if you pick Manny Pacquiao, keep it 100. You still had your doubts. No one knew 100%. And this is why I told y'all prior to this fight, if Manny Pacquiao pulls this thing off, man, I would be in straight up amazement. I would be in a state of shock that I don't know when it's going to go away. And I'm still in a state of shock. Denise Ward's in the building. What's up, man? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up, fam? Denise says, I was right. Yeah. You won that money. I know that's right. I know that's right. UGC says Earl might be next to lose this year. Crazy. Could be, bro. Something in the air, man. Something in the air. Something going around. This is the year of upsets that I have, as big as I've ever seen it, bro. I mean, this is as good as it gets when it comes to the upset conversation. We've had Andrew Cancial get upset Alberto Machado, not once but twice. We've had Julian J. Rock Williams upset my main man. 3 belts. 3 belts. I mean, took all my man Hurd's belts, right? And then who else we had? We had Anthony Joshua versus Andy Ruiz. Another upset. We had this one. This is the year of upsets unlike nobody's business. So Earl Spence, you know, the crazy thing about Earl Spence and Sean Porter fight, and hear me on this, Earl can really do something really special this year. You know, it's like the old politics saying goes, you never let a crisis go to waste. You know what I mean? Earl need to sit back and look around and say, well, everybody is losing. All of these upsets, Charlo loss, you know what I mean? Hurd loss, you know, everybody losing. I can be the standout this year. I can be the one that goes and get the biggest victory of the year and take it. And on top of that, if I put some seats in the market in LA, I really take it. Those are two things that he can pass expectations on. He can fill a house in LA, instant star. He can surpass what everybody has done this year, becoming a unified welterweight champion, and he will be the standout fighter of the year. He will have covered more ground, possibly aside from Andy Ruiz, maybe than anybody this year. It can happen. It can happen. We just got to wait and see. Like I've always told my Earl Spence Jr. fans, we got to wait and see. I need to see it first. I'm not giving him anything. I'm not giving Sean anything. I'm not giving Danny anything. I'm not giving none of them nothing until they get in the ring and they win and they get it done. Until then, the spot is vacant. Manny, if you want to throw Manny in there, I got nothing against that. Manny is different in my opinion. He has an asterisk beside his name. He's a legend. He's legendary. But everybody else, the spot is vacant. The spot is vacant. The spot is vacant. B-Mar says, what's up with you? I was spot on that Manny will win a split decision. I was 100% confident he'd beat Keith all day. Good call, B-Marsh. Good call. I was far away from that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. Yeah. Everyone's O has got to go, says Son of God 316 all day. I see Keith let out a tweet this morning, and he put it out there. You know, Keith ain't no sore loser. You got to give him respect for that. He's not running away from cameras. He's not acting all down in the dumps. Hell, I probably took it harder than he did. You know what I mean? But he ain't acting no kind of way. He's up giving props to Manny Pacquiao this morning on Twitter. He's giving the respect. You know, you got to respect for what Manny Pacquiao has done. I mean, if you don't like Pacquiao, if you don't like his fans, you got to respect him. I always tell people I'd rather have respect than you like me any day. You know what I'm saying? Any day. Landada says we talking boxing, man. What's up, family? What's up with you? What's up with you? Son of God says Porter destroys Spence. Mark my words. Does Porter got a chance in this fight fans? Does Porter got a good chance coming up September 28th? I think he got a chance. I seen the trash that him and Earl was talking at the press conference, man. And they building this thing, man. It's all right, man. I can't wait to see this fight. This is going to determine so much at the weight class, man. Real talk, man. So I'm really looking forward to this situation right here. Iva says, hey, you catch Broner video bragging about surviving against Pac all day. Let's talk about Adrien Broner. Adrien Nugget Head Broner. You know what I mean? He running around to any camera that would listen. Yeah, see, I gave a better performance. Yeah, y'all got to put some respect on my name. Like, bro, come on, cut it out, bro. Cut it out. You know what I'm saying? Keith went in there, did twice as much than what you did in the fight. He may have came up short, but at least he came to fight. You know what I mean? Adrien Broner, I don't know what he came to do. He came to be a spectator to get a check. You did. I mean, at least Keith came to fight. You know what I mean? That's one thing you can at least, you can't take that away from Keith. And Adrien Broner just running around trying to sell a fight. No one cares about no Ivan Red Cat. He's fighting Ivan Red Cat to a point with Adrien Broner. Bro, you need to figure your weight out. Do you want to be a 140 fighter? Do you want to be a 147 fighter? Or you catch weight king? Which one is it? Meet me at 140. You don't want to fight. I mean, come on, man. You don't know where you fighting at, man. You don't want no smoke with none of the real killers at 140. Abe wants no smoke with Regis. He wants no smoke with Hooker. He wants no smoke with Josh. He wants no smoke with Ramirez. He don't want no smoke with none of them. But he always telling everybody to meet him at 140. I ain't never seen a boxer say, meet me at a weight class, meet me at 140, but you ain't got no plans on fighting none of the 140 champions. You ain't got no plans on fighting any of the killers at 140, but you telling everybody to meet you at 140. I'm lost. But I hear everybody running around, oh, well, Adrien Broner, he fights everybody. He don't duck anything. No, he is forced into those fights. Y'all don't know the story. And I can tell that story, but I choose not to because it ain't my business. Adrien in pocket, man. Man, you know what? Like I tried to tell y'all before, you know, you can't be aware of all these opportunists out here, man. Adrien, he's been strictly an opportunist right now. He don't want to get in the ring with Keith. AB can run. Keith straight up curried him in the build up to this fight. I mean, curried him heavy. Keith was running around some, I'm not AB. I'm nothing like AB. I mean, putting AB on the spot. AB ain't had nothing to say. Now, all of a sudden, Keith loses. Now, AB won't come out, run around to the cameras and talk about what he this and that and the third. Man, straight, you know what I'm saying? But you don't want to fight Keith. You don't want to fight nobody at 140 worth mentioning. You want to bring welterweights down to 140 or catch weights. Man, AB, y'all give that dude the time of day, man. I stopped giving AB time of day on this channel a long time ago. I used to be down for AB. I used to be down for him heavy. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. I want to see if AB got so much mouth to say. Like my man Sheldon Holmes just say, what's up, family? Like he just say, I want to see the fight. Show us the fight. AB, don't just talk. Don't try to capitalize off the popularity of this fight. Don't try to run around and act like you did something so much better than Keith. Fight the man. But you want to come down. He got to come down to 142, right? He got to come down to 143. Oh, meet me at 140. You don't even want to meet the other 140 fighters at 140, but you want to meet welterweights at 140. Man, come on, bro. Man, Mikey dusted you, cousin. He dusted you. Easy work. Went in there fighting like a sucker, man. And AB got the nerve, man. You know what? That really rubs me the wrong way because people throw AB so many passes. We can dump on AB 7 days a week, easy work with a different subject every day, but we don't. And AB got the nerve to run out here one talk. I'm keeping it 100. Oh, man. All the stuff you do. And you got the nerve to criticize any fighter. AB don't got the standing to criticize nobody, bruh. I mean, nobody. He can't open his mouth about one fighter in boxing. So whatever AB says, it is what it is. No one really cares. They know he's just being a typical clown. You know what I mean? Then Dada says, my homie said Keith left his balls at the weigh-in, or was that at the mic? Yeah, man, oh man, he better pick up the pieces fast, man. The Red says, put respect on AB. He never ducked nobody, bro. Man, he was forced into them fights. You talking about he ain't never ducked? You think he wanted to fight Sean Porter? You think he wanted that fight? Is that what you think? That's why he kept switching the weights, tried to the last minute swap the weight up and all of that. You think he wanted that fight, or was he forced into that fight? Yeah, I gotta understand. I don't want to get too much into his business. I know a lot about Adrien Broner. I know a lot. I'm just gonna put it to you like this, and I'm gonna leave it at that, and you fill in the blanks. If you got, we've all heard the music stories over the years, how like even Motown artists or any other record label, Bad Boy, Death Row, whatever, you know what I'm saying? How they all go broke later on in life. And the reason that they went broke is because they had all of these charges of things that they had no idea they were running up charges about. And it's like, next thing you know, now I'm in pocket. Now I'm not even working for me no more. I'm working for you, and you. Well, that's Adrien Broner. And I'll let you fill in the blanks. So he's forced into these fights. It's not an option for AB. You think it's an option? Y'all talking like it's an op, like he has this choice. No, you don't have to fight him if you don't want to. No, this is who you fighting, cousin. And you're fighting that because guess what? Got you right here. I'm going to leave it there. Keith ain't never been in a position that way. Keith is was the own master of his own future. He wasn't told what he had to do. But AB, well, it's a different conversation. You know what I mean? And I'm going to leave it at that. Rocket Strikes 89 says Broner is a nobody and he knows it. And I don't understand why people give him the time of day. I don't get it. I don't get it. Y'all actually taking that man word. Like, come on, bro. We know that you can say whatever you want to say about Keith Thurman. But you put Keith Thurman in the ring with AB and I'm putting a stack on him all day. All day. You know what I mean? Are we that point? Are we to that point, fight fans? Are we to the point now where we're going to say Keith Thurman loses to Adrien Broner? Are we there? I hope we ain't there. Please tell me we're not there. Son of God says Broner is just a good B-level fighter. If you want to say he's B-level, you know, you want to say that he's B-level. Going to a draw, fighting all these draws, and come on, man. AB's pretty good at lightweight till Maidana whooped his arrogant butt. Well, he skipped over the 140 division. That's what threw him out of whack. He's never been on track ever since he skipped over a division. He skipped over a division. He beat Paulie Malignaggi. His head got big, but he was XYZ until Marcos Maidana humbled him. And ever since then, weight-wise, AB has been all over the map. He can't get right. And then on top of that, that machine over there, they used that kid. They used him. Messed his head all up. Got him in pocket. That's the promoter game. Man. Project Video Nizer says God's welterweight, Pacquiao, Spence, Crawford, and Porter. I like that list. I guess my man ain't no longer on the Mount Rushmore welterweight division. I mean, are we really ready to throw Keith away after one loss? I'm gonna ask y'all, fight fans, are we really ready to throw Keith away after one loss? But like I tried to speak on earlier, Keith got to determine what he want to do for himself. And he got to determine whether or not he really want to stay in his boxing game and treat it the way it needs to be treated. My deal is if Keith does decide to say, hey, I am a fighter, I am a warrior, I should be digging deep, yeah, I'm going to come back and fight. But if he does, then okay, it's time to start back over. Let's get Keith confidence built back up again. It's going to take that. Let's keep Keith busy. Keith got to get out of this once a year. Maybe even he may even got to come back and do 3 fights in 1 year. We got to get that confidence back up, most importantly. And is Keith nurturing injuries of some sort? Like, we know he got all of these surgeries and all of that. But, yo, when Manny clipped him on the right, it was the right side of the body. He got clipped. And when Manny hit him into that body and put him on his bicycle, if you go and you watch, you see Keith keeps that elbow tight up against that body for basically the remainder of the fight. I'm not giving no excuses. I'm not saying nothing was wrong with Keith, but I'm just wondering, like, over time, over the years, has he sustained some sort of rib injuries that just not getting right? Because look how he always get hit in that same spot, and it has that same effect on him every time. And then he went throughout of the fight protecting that side. You know, so I mean, I wonder sometimes, you know what I'm saying? I wonder sometimes. Rocket Strikes 89 says Porter looked a little happy after Keith lost, and they supposed to be mans. Bro, they all, Porter and Danny, they both have been looking at Keith with envy ever since Keith got this Pacquiao fight. If you think that they were happy for Keith, not even Earl was happy for Keith. They all wanted that golden ticket. I ain't mad at them for it, but they all wanted that golden ticket. Man, Sean has been envious. Danny has been envious. Or even Earl. Earl has even been envious. I'm not saying it's like, I mean, it's natural. If you're a fighter, you want the top fights. If you see yourself at the top dog, you want the top fights. I'm not saying they're wrong for being that way, but they were envious. I seen it. I felt that energy. Come on, man. That's why they would little sneak disses in there, here and there. They were envious of it. They wish it was them. You know, so, you know, Porter always acting like he mans with somebody, he cool with somebody. He tried to act like he was cool with Earl. He tried to walk around like him and Earl were the best of friends and everything was all good until Earl had to keep coming out and letting it all be known. It ain't nothing personal. It ain't nothing personal, but I'm going to whoop his ass. His father talking all that smack. Oh, no, we ain't got like no beef, but I'm going to crush this dude. And Earl letting it be known. Don't get it twisted. Don't run around here acting like we all super cool, because we ain't. We about to fight, bruh. And I'm about to bring that noise and take your belt all that time. And then like Sean tried to come out. Oh, well, you know, yeah, like it was something he wanted to do. And Earl quickly on his neck, like, no. Hold up. Only reason you fight me because you have no one else to fight. Let's get that straight. Let's get that straight. And I actually agree with that notion. I don't know if it's right or wrong, but that's the reason that Sean is doing it, because I mean, he ain't making no big time money. These are the last days of Sean Porter. He got a WBC belt. He wants to capitalize like everybody else. So don't act like it was a thing about, oh, well, you know, Sean could have got away from Earl for 1 or 2 more fights. Nah, bro. The public, for one, would have shut him down, A, and B, nah, bro, you ain't got nobody else left to fight. You fought Danny. You fought Keith. Manny, you don't want to fight you. Turnstein, you and Turnstein ain't making no business together. There's only one left, and that's Earl Spence Jr. Unless you can go and fight a B-level fighter somewhere. You gonna fight Omar Figueroa? What are you gonna do? You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, man. I don't know. My Doug Long says he said he'll be back. Yeah, I heard Keith say he will be back. He said he's not giving it up just yet. We got to see. I hope so. You know what I mean? Keith still brings a lot to the sport of boxing. He's still an exciting fighter to watch. And most importantly, he's still a good trash talker. So we need characters like Keith Thurman around boxing. We don't want Keith to disappear from boxing. We just wanted him to get his stuff together. We wanted him to figure out, does he really want this? Keith knows better than anybody. He's been a world champion. He's been around boxing his whole life. He knows what it takes to be here. And half-assing it ain't going to let you be here. You know? Not when you got hunger in your division. So Keith got to figure that out first. And he need to cross that bridge first. Determined. Sit down with his wife. Sit down with his family. Sit down with his doctors, his plastic surgeon, everybody under the sink, and say, look, man, have a serious conversation if this is what you want. Because if not, you're going to keep getting yourself hurt. You'll keep getting injuries. You're going to keep sitting out of the ring. You're going to keep turning the fans against you. You're going to keep making everybody upset if you keep half-assing it. I hung in there with him. And I'm still a Keith Thurman fan. That don't change. I hung in there with him. Some of y'all hung in there with him. A lot of all of you closet dwellers out there who never came out but was waiting for Keith one time Thurman to win and then come out as a Thurman fan, stay exactly where you at. You know what I mean? Stay exactly where you at. But I still support him. But I'm not going to support half-ass. He's got to come back and he's got to show me that he's really determined and to come back to be who he was. That's what I need to see. That's what I need to see. Real talk. You know what I mean? Hit that like button for me. Hit that like button. Thumbs up. Thumbs up. It's Sunday night, y'all. We got a long work week ahead of us, man. This was a hell of a weekend in boxing, man. Hell of a weekend, man. Real talk. The Spence versus Porter press conference got me hyped, says Pac-Man. Earl Porter couldn't sell a chicken dinner at a family dinner. Damn, you can't sell a chicken dinner at a family dinner. Your mama don't want none. Your daddy don't want none. Nobody don't want none. Yeah, man. Hey, this game got me hyped too. And I think Showtime Sean Porter is going to pop up to be a good game fighter, man. Good game fighter. Real talk. Real talk. Felix Nunez says, even though he lost, Keith got mad recognition after this fight. His post-fight interview got like 1.5 million views. Dude's still a factor in boxing all day. All day. I'm telling y'all, man, Keith ain't gonna know. I mean, Keith's love for Keith is still going to be in boxing. The love for Keith will still be in boxing. The problem is people don't want to support and love someone that they feel is half-assing them. And so at this point now, with Keith getting his first loss, losing his world title to a 41-year-old, you know what I mean? Everyone is going to be watching, even Keith supporters. Keith supporters are now going to be watching like, okay, Keith. Now, we heard everyone was jumping on us and ragging on us heavy like you ain't had no hunger, you ain't the same. And we fought that off for a long time, Keith. We kept them at bay as best as we could. We can't do it no more. We can't do it no more. Fight fans, we can't do it no more. And Keith has got to come to us and prove to his supporters that I am going into this ring to win for us all, to win this, to really win this, and not con nobody, not try to, float my way through a fight. I'm going in there to win this and bring back the gold. We need that, Keith. And if we don't got that, Keith, we can't support Keith. Period. Fred Bogart says that's trash talking was just an act to sell the fight, and he did a pretty good job at it. I guess he's really a good person deep down. And on top of that, he's not a sore loser. He didn't disrespect Manny. He didn't call Manny a name. He didn't come at Manny sideways at all. He didn't make an excuse. Oh, my hand, my foot, my knees, my toes. He didn't do any of that. He sat there. He went to the press conference like a man. Take that in mind, Adrien Broner. Since you want to talk smack, you the only cat who take L's and don't pop at the press conference. He took his loss like a man, came out to the world, said at that press conference, came out on Twitter this morning, still bigging up Manny Pacquiao. He is not a sore loser, unlike Adrien Broner, who the man don't even come to his press conferences. Remember how when McDonough broke his jaw and your man went running out with the tears running down his face? Give me to the limo, please. Hurry. Problem solved. Remember that? I remember that said around the world. Problem solved. Damn. I tell you. Low Blow Champ says, oh no, I'm sorry. How Cleefus McDonald. Famos exposed Thurman's inactivity. He was broken goods going into the Pac fight. Dude got paid. No, so props to him. Yeah, he got paid. He made a good amount of money. That's the one thing that's gonna keep wifey at home, right? Wifey come to the first fight. She see my man get beat down, but she see he just made like 10 M's in this fight. And it's gonna be like, you know what? You got beat down, but you got 10 M's. So guess what? I guess I can show you a little bit more respect. 10 M's speak louder than words, bruh, any day of the week. Felix Nunez, if this loss motivates Keith and he gets the hunger of the old Keith calling out Mayweather and Pac, wanting to prove something, might be the best thing to happen to him. I agree 100% with that, Felix Nunez. Sometimes that's what it takes, right? Hit rock bottom. Got to build yourself back up. And that's what I think. So hopefully that's what it takes for me. you know, to stay in the camp of Keith Thurman, which I have absolutely no problem with. And we will sit back here on YouTube and go back to war, and I will continue to battle for Keith. But at the end of the day, I'm not battling for nobody who don't want it. That ain't happening. That ain't happening. You know what I mean? That ain't gonna happen. Fan or no fan, love the sport or not, I'm not doing it. You know what I'm saying? I'm biased. What's up, man? Salute. So who is the #1 welterweight now? I think it's vacant. I think it's vacant until the next set of fights is taken care of. If you want to give it, like I told him, I'm biased. If you want to give it to Manny, I don't include him because of his legendary status. But if you include him, because I understand it for those who do. He is an active fighter. He's still fighting today like every other boxer. You know what I'm saying? If you include Manny, I got to give it to Manny. But if you don't, because of his legendary status, I have to say it's vacant. You know what I mean? I know that may sound a little both sides of the fence like, but I have to call it that way. But as far as with the youngsters, like the Earls and the Seans and the Dannys and all of those guys, I think it's vacant. And I think the closest person to it will be the winner of Earl Spence versus Showtime Sean Porter all day. Law Survivor says, you think this did more buys than Broner fight? Good question. Good question. That would be interesting to know. What Broner and them do? What him and Pac do? 400? If I recall, I might be a little rusty on that. I think it was 400,000. That's a good question. I told people, man, for this to be a success for me, it got to do 350 or better. It has to do 350 or better to consider this a success. I think it can do it, man. The buzz for this fight was in the last week. Shout out to Fox, man. Shout out to PBC, man. They did a hell of a job promoting this fight in the last week. All of those different specials back to back to back. All of the promo spots, all of the ads we seen everywhere. They did a decent job, man. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, man. I think that last week push might have got them numbers up, man. Might have got them numbers up. You know what I'm saying? Unbiased or biased boxing talk, probably Manny right now, bro. Yeah, that's what I was saying. I if you want to give it to Manny, I ain't mad at you, because the argument against that is still kind of tough. You know what I mean? That's a hard argument to argue against. But if you don't include Manny, it's vacant. You know what I mean? That's just how I gotta see it. You think, damn, Manny Pacquiao will be considered #1 at 41 years old. That's fucking amazing, bro. That's amazing. You know what I'm saying? Amazing. Yeah, man. Rocky Strikes 89 says Keith got a rack of new fans, though. The Philippines is rocking with Keith now. And that's because Keith took the loss the way he took it. One thing I know about the Philippine people is that they respect, period. You know what I mean? Like, they don't respect disrespect, period. If you want to disrespect Manny in the post-fight, you want to call him names, you want to talk bad about him, you know what I mean? They ain't going to care for you much. I'm pretty sure they don't like Adrien Broner at all. But in the Keith Thurman's case, where he is a gentleman, a philosopher, and everything under the sun, but guess what? They can dig Keith. They can dig Keith. So Keith was respectable in defeat, man, and they really respect that. You know what I mean? Keith got 2.5 million guaranteed. Cool. I'm pretty sure he'll make a hell of a lot more than that, though. Hell of a lot more than that. You know what I'm saying? 11 Toes Garcia is a bum. What's up with Danny, man? Danny running around now. He want to get in this. He want to throw his hat in the mix, right? Danny is finally ready to step it on up and get back into major contention. You know, and that's the thing. You know, I give Danny a lot of crap because of how he did Earl Spence Jr., but don't misunderstand me here. Danny should be getting that accolade that Adrien Broner gets. When they say Adrien Broner fought everybody, no, Danny Garcia fought everybody. Respect to Danny. We give Danny a lot of crap, but that's who technically fought everybody in not only one but 2 weight classes. So that's who deserves those accolades, not Adrien Broner. Adrien Broner's forced the fights. He has no choice. Danny did and does. So I hope Danny wants to get back into the mix. It's looking to me that Danny realizes that he is on the outside looking in now. At once upon a time, he was on the inside looking out, but now he's on the outside looking in. He wants to know where he can fit in it. Can he get a pay-per-view going? That's what he was banking heavy on that Mikey Garcia fight. I know. Messiah in the building. What's up, family? So he's the one that's sitting back now and got to be like, yo, well, how do I get in the mix, man? Who would I got to fight? I don't even know who's Danny's talking about fighting next. Like, other than Mikey Garcia, Mikey came out and shut that down. I don't know who he's talking about fight. Hey, man, UGC says dudes out here still sleeping on Danny. I wouldn't sleep on Danny. He may have took a couple L's, but that's not a reason. Don't sleep on Danny. You know what I mean? He may have underperformed on the elite level at welterweight, but Danny's power is the real deal. You dig? The only thing that I think Danny has been missing these last few years is the actual hunger. I think honestly, Danny has been making good money, and I think Danny has been getting fat. And I think Danny has been sitting back like, Uncle Al got me. If I lose, oh well, I can just make it back. If I lose, oh well, I can make it back. But now Danny is in a position where he literally now he has 2 losses against 2 top tier guys at the class. He can't afford a third right now. Not right now. And on top of that, he needs some prestige back. He needs to be let back into the conversation. So Danny knows what he got to do. This may change him. Sometimes, man, somebody said it earlier, man, the realest thing that can happen to a fighter sometimes is when they lose. And when they lose, it can either go one or two ways. It can go good, it can go bad. It can go, time to get myself together, kick it in gear, get in the gym, get in shape, stay focused, stay determined, and get hungry. Or, you know what? I'm done with this game. It is what it is. I made enough money. Ain't enough money to go around. It's too much risk. I'm not trying to get back in shape no more. I'm done with this. A loss can make a fighter dwell and think one or two ways. And I'm going to give Danny the benefit of the doubt and say I think that Danny wants to get back in. He wants to get back in. And I think he has a little hunger there this time around. Things has changed. So we'll see. We'll see. Gucci Time says, who blocked the red? Made man, you block subs for having opinions and stating facts? Never. Who blocked who? I don't block nobody, man. Man, come on. At all. I blocked nobody. Clearly, man, one of my supporters must have did it. I don't know what he said. I didn't even see it. I wasn't paying attention. But, it's the way it go. I'll check him out. But I don't block nobody. Red, get at me. I don't block nobody, though. The Shy, where does Keith go from here? He isn't ready for Spence or Crawford. Do you agree? That's why I was just saying, Shy. Keith got to decide what he want to do first. He got to determine whether or not he want this. And if he does, I think he should go into a confidence building mission. He should get a couple confidence building fights, and then get right back into contention. But all this activity, all this away from the fight game, thinking you something special now, you could have played that role at one point in time, but you can't do it no more. Now you got to be just like everybody else, hungry. And if you're not that, don't play boxing. Get out of the sport. You know what I mean? Don't play boxing. If you're hurt, if you're hiding injuries, whatever the case may be, Keith, just get out of the sport. I don't want to see the man get hurt. You know what I mean? But I still think he is a dynamic fighter. I still think he gives everybody a lot of hell, man. The one thing also that I leave this fight with, impressed with Manny Pacquiao, is his recovery, man. Slim, Keith caught Pac with a couple good right hands, man. And all Pac would do is look like he was kind of phased for a brief second and then shake it off and get right back into the fight. Throw a flurry at Keith and push Keith back. And I was just like, how is he just shaking off these punches like this, man? How is he shaking them off like it ain't nothing? How's he doing this? Masai in the super chat. Much love, family. Appreciate that. Real, recognize real. I fucks with you, man. Keep up the good work, soldier. Salute to you, bro. Salute to you too, Masai. Much love for that, family. Much love for that. And that's what I'm saying, man. And I couldn't figure it out. How was Manny shaking these punches off, man? You did. Like, I didn't get it. Regular Militant in the building. What's up, famo? What's up with you? And I'm just like, man, oh man. Man, oh man. So salute to Manny Pacquiao once again. I'm about to play dead. It's time to dead this. Y'all seen me yesterday. For those who come around and they say, man, we've never seen you humble. Well, you seen me humbled last night. It's not the first time I've been like that way on this show. Kell Brook fight, if you go back to that, I was the same way. Jared Hurd fight, if you go back to that fight, I was the same way. And it don't stop. And it won't stop. Because that's how we have fun over here. We have a good time. I love to engage y'all in the debates. I'll be over there to see them UGC boys real soon. I love to engage y'all in debates, man. It's no hard feelings. Me and anyone. Shout out to my main man, Monty Brown. That's my dude. We had a great debate as well. And this is what we do. This is what we got to do to progress the sport. If you want to be journalists, if you want to be reporters, go apply with ESPN. But this is YouTube. This is no man's land where we turn the fuck up and we gonna turn up and get loud. You know what I mean? That's what we do. That's how we have fun. We got bills and stuff. You dig me? Unbiased says that Jeff Horn win Crawford has is looking real nice. Yeah, but when you put that in comparison with Sean, and when you put that in comparison with Earl, him and Earl are like neck and neck, bro. Earl got Lamont, Earl got Lil Mike, Lamont, and Ocampo versus Benavidez, Horn, and Khan. That can be that's close. I'm biased. That's close, bro. That's close. That's close. That's real close. That's why I say, look, man, I'm willing to award that after these next set of fights, man. If Earl beat Sean, I think Earl got it. Earl got it. He's number one. He's the only unified fighter in boxing, and most importantly, Keith is dethroned. Only argument against Earl was not going to still be number one is if Keith would have still remained number one, but it ain't happened. So if he becomes unified, he beats Sean Porter, it's going to be tough. We're going to have that conversation. We're going to all have to have that conversation. That's going to be a good-ass conversation. Real good conversation. Low Blow Champ says Thurman couldn't hurt him. That was crazy. And that's what it throws me off, Low Blow. So when I got the yelling Vada last night out of instinct, I was wrong for that. I will admit. Maybe I shouldn't put that out there because I see a lot of people run with it today. And I don't know if I was right for putting that out there. But I couldn't get it. I couldn't put the stuff together. Like, what? How? True Boxing Talk. What's up, family? What's up with you, man? My main man, KO. Salute to the trill. Bro, I'm a fan with the YouTube channel. That's it. People want you to act like ESPN so you can be comfortable in your space. Keep, bro.